Is objective morality a real thing? A lot of people think so. Maybe most people think so. So objective morality would be an actual moral system. It would be a standard by which all people should know whether something is right or wrong. So something 6,000 years ago to people 6,000 years ago to people 6,000 years beyond us would all agree, not agree, but they would all be beholden to this moral system. That's what objective morality would be if it really exists. I do say everyone knows the difference, or they perceive a difference between morality and preferences and opinions. So preferences and opinions could be, hey, this is my favorite movie, but that's your favorite movie. This is my favorite ice cream, but your favorite ice cream is something else, or you don't like ice cream. And when someone has a different preference or opinion, in fact, this is how you know the difference. If someone has a different preference or opinion, you're like, oh, okay, cool. It doesn't make you mad. You might even be intrigued. You might even want to talk to them. But if someone has a contradictory moral conclusion to you, you get angry. You get riled up and you're like, no, I need to correct this person. This person's wrong. This person's really wrong. Not just having a different view, but they're just actually wrong and I need to correct them. And you genuinely feel this anger and this determination to make it right. That's how you know that you're dealing with morality and not preferences and opinions. Some people who uphold objective morality say if there's not objective morality, then everything is preferences and opinions, and that's not true. Because we do have this understanding that what is moral means more to us than preferences and opinions. There's a sharp distinction between preferences and opinions and morality. This is a battle of moral systems, and then the moral system that wins is the one, or the moral systems that win will be the ones that are still here. And the moral systems that aren't here won't be here to have any advocates to fight for them. I don't know if there's an actual moral system that's either physical or metaphysical that exists outside of humanity. But I do think that we believe it when we're dealing with morality because we're thinking this is different. So I think we project that idea onto our moral system. And if there really is such a thing, I also know it's not going to come forward. It's not going to appear in the sky and say, hey guys, turns out he's right and she's wrong. They have it down. These people are close. These people are way off. That's never going to happen. The moral systems that exist will be the ones that people are still pushing for. And then the ones that aren't are going to disappear. It's going to come down to whether it exists or not. And so I think the real baseline is whether there are enough people that embrace a moral system. It's not necessarily agreement, because sometimes when you feel something moral, it's not something that you agreed to. It's just something that encountered. You receive it rather than you analyzed your way to it. I think there's a lot of culture and biology behind that when you suddenly realize, like, oh, I hate that, even though you didn't do any analysis. I think that's very powerful, and I think that's why a lot of people think that there is an actual morality, because they didn't do conscious analysis to get to it. But people are going to embrace these moral systems, and then those moral systems are going to be battling against other moral systems, and then you're either going to be here or not. So it's the standard, I think, is how many people embrace it, and then whether the system is still here. And then if there really is an actual moral system outside of that, my argument is it's not going to do anything. And let's say that there is. Let's say that there's a moral system that actually impresses upon all of us across all cultures and time, but nobody talks about it. Nobody, 8 billion people, and then we have kids, and then we create AI, and then there's hybrids in the future. No one talks about that moral system anymore. Of what use is it? It still exists. You could say, well, it's still the truth. Okay, but it doesn't do any work. It doesn't impact our lives anymore. So I would say, if you want there to be an objective morality, then say it is. Say it and go with it. But also don't think that if you're wrong, everybody else doesn't count. It does seem right to say, hey, if it's not the way that I think it is, then what's the point? That might seem like a compelling way to think, because we feel threatened. We love our moral systems, or at least we embrace our moral systems, and it's threatening to think that this is so fleeting. But I think it is fleeting. And I think the fleetingness of it is what makes it important, at least for me. So that's my take on objective morality.